120 days. The life and death of a red blood cell. The following events are based on a true story, and they all occur within the human body. We begin at the marrow. It is at the red bone marrow where red blood cells are created. The kidneys secrete erythropoietin, which then signals the red bone marrow to produce more red blood cells, which it does. A red blood cell contains hemoglobin, the protein used to transport gases throughout all the body. Hemoglobin consists of heme groups, each containing an iron molecule used to bind with gases. It is thanks to the iron in the heme groups found in hemoglobin that blood is able to transport these gases. An untimely death. The average life expectancy of a red blood cell is 120 days. Nothing but 10,368,000 seconds. This is often fulfilled by the hemolysis of red blood cells, in which they rupture into the mysterious majestic abyss known as the human body. The other form of death is still a rather familiar cell, who engulfs RBCs without mercy, if they act free. Oh no, poor red blood cell. A familiar face and a bitter end. The liver, which filters blood, along with the spleen and the red bone marrow, each have cells that act like henchmen known as phagocytes, who are ready to take out anything they dislike, even their own blood brothers. These macrophages eat red blood cells and strip them of their most important molecule, which is heme. Those lucky enough to have ruptured before facing a macrophage leave hemoglobin, iron, and cell fragments behind, which the fierce phagocytes are quick to clean up anyways. And here's an example of a phagocyte eating a poor ruptured red blood cell. And it's gone. Sad. 50 shades of heme. Once heme is robbed from poor red blood cells, the little heme is itself robbed from its iron molecule, Fe2. The ironless heme is then converted to biliverdin, a green organic compound. Biliverdin is then transformed into bilirubin, an orange-yellow pigment. Some of the bilirubin binds to albumin and is taken to the liver where it is excreted through bile. Eventually, the rest of the bilirubin ends up as urobilin and stercobilin, which are other familiar pigments. Stercobilinous and urobilinous are then excreted into urine. Urobilinous gives urine its yellow pigmentation, and stercobilinous give feces its brown pigmentation. So here's heme. The iron in heme goes to the red bone marrow to be reused in making new red blood cells. The heme itself turns into biliverdin, then bilirubin, and then splits into urobilin and stercobilin, as you can see. A second chance or macabre act. Some of the most important components left behind by dead red blood cells are recycled and reused to form new red blood cells. Globular proteins are broken down into amino acids and used by their cells. Iron from the dead RBCs bind to transferrin, which is then absorbed by new developing RBCs in the red bone marrow. How inhumane to use parts of your dead brother to build a new one. Or is it a revolutionary idea? I tend to disagree with the latter. And right now, live, is a red blood cell dying. Oh my gosh. There's its iron, and there's transferrin taking it to the red bone marrow as we speak. And they're gone. And so we end with the beginning. We end at the marrow. With the end comes a new beginning. As red blood cells die, millions more are made. As the peripheral tissues of the kidneys are exposed to low oxygen, they then secrete erythropoietin, the hormone which travels to the red bone marrow and tells it to create more blood cells. So the marrow performs its job, unfazed by the death of millions of red blood cells, just as the tide rises, the tide shall fall, as made famous by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's poem. Now here's an example of red bone marrow producing red blood cells. So we magnify, and here you said the red blood cells re-emerging. This has been a presentation by Ivan Buber for Anatomy Bio 202.